Good morning, class. It is currently 5 p.m. EST. Welcome to the stream. Hello, everybody. My name is byzantinesoul, and I usually yap before we get into things. Today, I don't have anything to talk about except to illuminate you upon the fact that I am tired and also stupid, which, if you're familiar with me at all, probably is not a revelation of any kind. Anyway, hello, everybody. I am a little dumb. So what happened is, I made my schedule on Sunday, and I posted it on Sunday, and I was like, oh, okay, I have plenty of time. What actually happened was, it turns out, I did not make my schedule on Sunday, and I did not post my schedule on Sunday. I made my schedule on Monday, and posted it on Monday. So I'm a day behind. So I thought, oh, this event ends on Wednesday. We'll play it on Tuesday. We'll have so much time. It is, I realized just before stream, it is actually Wednesday. And we have not so much time to do an entire event. We have 2 hours and 25 minutes. So we're not gonna yap. We're gonna get right into it. Will the game kick me out in the middle of the event if it ends before we're finished? I don't know, but I will find out. So let's get right into it. It happens. It happens. Zucaro's most important guest is about to arrive. Let's get right into it. I didn't want to mess with the model today because I completely forgot I didn't have it set up. And I already had this set up, so we're getting right into it. The first rays of daybreak stream in through the trees that line the pavement, shining into a perfectly ordinary little cafe by the side of the street. A girl dressed like a shop attendant is hard at work. She's cleaning up the planters, making snacks, and changing out the coffee beans. She systematically works through the tasks that have to be completed before the cafe can open for business. Because it's perhaps it's because her neural cloud is occupied by these routine tasks, but she doesn't seem to notice the footsteps approaching her. Imagine if we don't make it through the event because I can't read. Alright, let's go. Good morning. Springfield circles around to the other side of the counter and watches the look of surprise on the other girl's face with interest. Ah, manager. It's not often that I find you so distracted, Center AAC. My apologies. Why must you apologize? The point of this cafe is to help everyone live a relaxed life after all. Well, I'm not very relaxed right now. Center AC and Springfield look up at the same time. This cafe, decorated in a retro style, has a signboard reading Zucchero at its door. Or Zucchero. The Zucchero Cafe? They don't have voices, so I don't know. It's not only a popular hangout for the local residents, but also a secret clearinghouse run by ex-Griffin dolls to help their colleagues obtain information and seek help. After many years, the cafe has gradually put down roots and flourished, and it is entirely due to the efforts of the dolls who run it. Springfield nods to Center AC and smiles. Well, being able to see you this relaxed proves that my hard work hasn't gone to waste. Of course, I'll continue doing my best with you from here out, manager. I'll be counting on you. That said, they are here today. But in that case, we won't need to worry about the security situation. Indeed. Right now, Zucchero is probably the safest place in the entire city. This also means I'll be able to put all of my focus onto the day's tasks. After all, the preparations for today must be handled with the utmost rigor. You have a point. Let me help you too. Centeracy nods. Springfield steps behind a nearby cabinet and quickly dons an apron before helping to portion out the desserts Centeracy has made before placing them into the cold case. I think my monitor's off. Why is it so far away from me? Seemingly spotting something of note, Springfield pauses as she tops off the milk in the coffee machine. And then she leans in close and takes a sniff of the grinder hopper. We're just sniffing grinder hoppers? Okay. Oh my, are the beans in the machine from your private reserve of black ivory coffee? Black ivory coffee. Interesting. These things are too precious for most merchants to sell, even in the satellite city. As I recall, you saved up many collapse pieces to buy them. Are you going to use them all today? Upon hearing Springfield speak, Center AAC's face flushes a faint pink. Yes, I would like to make the best possible coffee I can today. Centracy turns the calendar on the counter to a new page with a thoughtful look on her face. Each box on the calendar is filled with the entries for events in different styles of handwriting, such as meet with coffee bean supplier, trim the lawn, 100th Zucchero Live, heart, I wonder who could have wrote that one, and so on. Meanwhile, today's box has only one word on it. Reserved. Ah, about that. Have you wrapped the gift for our customer yet? Of course. I've modified and cared for it in special ways just so our customer will feel the full extent of the surprise you've prepared. Well done, Centracy. You've covered all the bases. I honestly don't know how the cafe would manage without you. You flatter me. All this is just standard procedure. Oh yes, the cookies are almost done. Would you like to try them, manager? I think not. I have some other work I need to wrap up. The rest is up to you. I'll take care of it for you. Centracy doesn't say anything else, turning aside to let Springfield through, as though they've rehearsed this movement countless times before. Springfield opens the door to the kitchen and pushes the cake flour on the shelf to one side before moving the syrup on the topmost shelf into another cabinet. After tightening the place up, she moves the cabinet aside, revealing a patch of wall whose colors are brighter on account of not being exposed to the sun as much as its surroundings. Like when you move a painting and there's just like a white square and the rest of the wall is yellow because you're like, whoa, this house is lived in. Finally, she knocks twice on the wall. The wall section creaks and then it suddenly splits open along a hidden seam, revealing a secret passage just large enough for a single person to pass through. In the darkness, Springfield expertly feels her way along the wall and finds a switch on it. A light comes on and illuminates the interior. A huge display monitor dominates the cramped room and turns on with lights, displaying several locations being monitored by security cameras. Springfield scans the images on the screen, then presses the intercom button below it. Right on time, Manager Springfield. We've managed to hire several very capable staffers recently, so I'm much less busy now. So, have you gotten any new stock in lately? Of course I have. What kind do you want? I'll go with coffee beans. I'd like the sweeter kind. One of our regulars have developed a taste for them. Also, have you received the special blend that Macchiato sent over last time? Oh yes, I have. It was delicious. If you have more next time, I want it all. My, aren't we greedy? Can you blame me when your menu items are all excellent? Now then, back to business. That special guest I mentioned earlier will be visiting us today. I would like to ensure that nothing goes wrong with this meeting. As a supplier, can you provide the coffee beans today? Oh, looks like this guest of yours is quite the VIP. Oh yes, she's our most valuable client after all. I see, and here I thought you were joking when you mentioned it last time. You really are a kidder. I've always taken my work seriously. Sorry, that wasn't what I meant. If you insist, I do have some extra coffee beans that I can supply today, Manager. However, there'll be an extra charge for a rush order like this one. Of course, we'll settle our bill with you per standard procedure. Springfield soon receives a message. After she reads it, it automatically deletes itself. Fancy. My, this does help a lot. Just as she's about to continue, an internal call suddenly comes over her communicator. Pardon me, but it seems we have a bit of a situation at the cafe. We'll continue this later then. The other party hangs up and Springfield answers the call. She hears a familiar voice. Manager, we've spotted several suspicious individuals approaching Zucchero. Should I deal with them? Springfield looks at the screen. The security cameras show several thugs swaggering down the street. Seems they're just troublesome guests, so we'll let Sharkry handle them. Sharkry. Did you hear that, Sharkry? Is it time for Sharkry's debut at last? It seems there are some troublesome guests to the northwest of the cafe. Please take care of them. Will do. Sharkry will give each and every one of them a perfect show. Oh my god. Talk faster. On a building roughly 1 kilometer away from the Zucchero Cafe, I just made up pronunciations there. Macchiato is lying prone behind a set of guardrails on a balcony, concealed by a camouflage cape. After hearing the voice through her communicator, she finally shifts her gaze away from the optical scope for a moment. As she watches the doll in the distance sauntering off with exaggerated dance-like steps, Macchiato grumbles to herself. Honestly, can we really count on her? While she is a civilian doll primarily intended for the entertainment industry, this young miss has been fitted with a really advanced fire control component. Usually she's the one who handles troublesome guests like these when you're not around. There's doubt written all over Macchiato's face as she continues studying Sharkery through her scope. Clearly she's not convinced by Springfield's words. Does this happen before the other Zucchero Cafe event? Or the Macchiato event, I mean? Is this before in the timeline? However, the suspicious individuals each fade from Macchiato's view over the course of the next few minutes. Looks like they were simply layabouts. Fortunately, they didn't pose a real threat. Sharkery, how are things now? One moment, manager, this is the last of them. Sharkery's voice comes over the transmission. Hey, aren't you from that bar in the underground shopping street? Have you paid your protection money for the month? If not, you'll... Wait a minute, are you a doll? Ow, stay back. Run away, run away. The sounds of flesh being fucking beaten into the dirt. I don't know what it said, but that's about it. You got the gist. See? She's good at this. I guess tricking the enemy with her deceptive appearance must be part of how she gets the job done. What's this? Is that jealousy I hear, Macchiato? Hell no. Would be jealous of that spoiled little brat anyway. Besides, all I need is a gun in my hand. And that's a wrap. Sharkery suddenly cuts into the transmission, striking a pose before proudly declaring her work is done. Manager, I finished my mission without a hitch. In the video feed, an arm slowly reaches out from a dumpster behind Sharkery. OMG in the story already? Yeah, there's no time for yapping. The event ends in 2 hours. I don't know how long it is. Sharkery, what's that behind you? Sharkery glances back and delivers a lightning-fast kick that sends the arm back into the dumpster. Haha, it's nothing at all. Also, I just asked this. Does this take place before the Macchiato event? I think it does, right? So you just threw them into the trash. You could have at least dumped them in front of the nearest police box. Oh no, my makeup's running. I need to go touch myself up. That up is doing a lot of heavy lifting. You have the stage now, Miss Macchiato. Hey, wait. I can't believe it. She was spouting a bunch of crap and then just walked off like that. I called her back. It takes place after? Macchiato just acted like she didn't know Sharkery at all. You should come back too, Macchiato. She's not here yet, is she? Maybe I should keep watching until she sets foot into the cafe. The police will keep an eye on things for today. And besides, I'm sure you don't want to be stuck alone on a roof when she shows up, right? It happens during the Diana event. Good to know. Now I have a timeline. Clears throat. Fine, I got it. I'm coming back now, okay? Although she has an annoyed scowl on her face, Macchiato's already getting to work on her final task. First, she opens her terminal and refreshes her data links. Scenes from the cameras monitoring the streets around the Zucchero flash around through her mind. Macchiato's neural cloud carefully parses and filters every single suspicious individual and sound, as well as windows and vehicles that could be used to spy on them. That's a lot of S's. Oh my god. The 14th check reveals no suspicious conditions. The surrounding streets are safe. Having reached that conclusion, we leave. Highest ground in the city. As a professional sniper, she knows the layout of this place like the back of her hand. While this is a satellite city in the green zone, she can have a bullet in the opposition's skull within half a second of any threat exposing themselves should the situation call for it. S. Considering what kind of occasion this day is, she does not want any unexpected interruptions. I just imagine, like, you know, the middle school, like the S, just the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, however you do it. After verifying the situation, Macchiato disconnects the data cable, which is plugged into a floor port before returning her exquisite rifle into its violin case and leaping off the side of the building. We're just jumping off buildings now. That's great. Good job, Macchiato. 20 minutes later, after Zucchero's door chime rings for the last time today, the 4 members of the cafe's staff are finally gathered inside the cafe. Thank you, Miss Macchiato. Your coffee is ready. Okay, thanks. Macchiato accepts the cup and gets a whiff. The rich scent of roasted caramel, why did I say it like that, wafts into her nose. I like mixed caramel and caramel, and I said caramel. Who the fuck says that? Anyway, she takes a sip and her tense nerves promptly relax. The bitterness is just right, and the foam feels really dense. In any case, at least you didn't try to mess with me and treat me like a kid. You know you can just praise Centaur AC directly if you really want to. Huh? Were you expressing praise just now, Miss Macchiato? I love this clowny music. You see, the person in question had no idea you were doing it at all. What a pain. I'll be more careful next time. You're really good at catering to everyone's taste, Centaurace. This hot cocoa tastes super yummy, too. As I thought, rather than icky, bitter coffee, sweet cocoa really does suit this super cute sharkery the best. Ugh, kids are really easy to fool. Are you praising Miss Sharkery for being cute? What? I knew it. More from last time? Of course not. Looks like apart from lessons on cafe work, Centaurace will also need to study up on speaking Macchiato's language too. I will do my best. Why are you acting so serious about this anyway? Aw, look, Miss Macchiato's ears are red again. Perhaps she's trying to change the subject, or perhaps she really is bothered by something. Annoyed, Macchiato turns to look outside the window, drumming her fingers on the table. Speaking of which, isn't our guest here yet? The dolls all look outside. Crowds of people mill back and forth on the street, but the person they're all hoping to see has not shown up yet. The cookies will get cold if she does not arrive soon. Why do I pronounce it like that? I do not know. Time ticks by, and as the sun rises, the anticipation in the girl's heart soon becomes worry. Did something happen to her on her way here? They don't want to speculate on the reasons for it. However, their guest has always been a very punctual person. The cafe telephone rings in silence. In the silence. Those are two different things. If it was ringing in silence, you wouldn't hear it. Springfield heads over to the counter and picks it up immediately, as though she's been waiting for it all this time. As she raises it to her ear, she mimes a shushing gesture to the other members of the cafe. Hello, this is the Zucchero Cafe. Would you like a reservation or a home delivery order? Oh, is this the password system you arranged with her? However, the voice on the other end of the line is not the voice they've longed for. Springfield immediately turns to put her back to the counter and gives the other three dolls meaningful looks. It's been a while, Miss Springfield. Oh, hello. Alright then. You did say this was during the Dion event. Very interesting. Alright. Then, let's dispense with the pleasantries. Does the fact that you have this comm code mean that you were with her? A wise deduction. And yes, I need you to help us out right now. You won't refuse us, will you? Please get to the point. Simply put, things have gone wrong as usual and the threat level is code red. That's not good. I've sent you the coordinates and a route. Whether or not she'll still be alive depends on how quickly you get there. See you later then, ladies of the Zucchero. After some silence, Dandelion hangs up. What? It seems our guest has encountered some difficulty on her way here. I believe we will need to make a delivery. Manager will be using the emergency action plan? One moment, please. While she has rehearsed this scenario in her neural cloud countless times, Springfield still wants to ensure that the plan goes off without a hitch. Macchiato, go with loadout number 1 and bring as much ammo as possible. After that, you'll drive everyone to the objective location. Got it. Sharkery, can you ensure that our order is delivered? I believe you've installed the relevant software already. No problem. Sharkery has gone through tons of sim training. And as for you, Centaurace, I fear we'll have to open that gift we were saving for our guest ahead of time. I apologize for that. I know you spent a lot of time preparing that surprise. That's fine. The gift exists because she needs it. Its value will be maximized if we send it right when it is required. Thank you. Just in case, I'll stay in the cafe and provide remote support. If the worst should come to pass, I'll activate our emergency measures. If that happens, do not return to the Zucchero. The Zuck Hero. Proceed immediately to the backup safe house and meet there. Understood. Please be careful too. I will. Centaurace, please take care of everyone while you're outside. I'll make sure I keep everyone safe. So in return, please wait at home for our return. So in return. The Venetian blinds slowly close. Hedging the sunlight outside the cafe and the sound of the cafe door closing is drowned out by the clack 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 of rounds being chambered. A place which provides delicious food in times of leisure and one which protects that which is important in times of danger. That is what the Zucchero is. The Zucchero. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I did, in fact, drink an energy drink before the start of the stream because I figured I would need to talk fast because I don't naturally talk fast and it's hard. And now I have a lot of energy and I want to throw up. Because I also had some chocolate. And I'm not supposed to have energy drinks or chocolate. And also my throat hurts. But we're getting through it. Kill these enemies faster. They're only level 15. Just shoot them. Ah, water. Elite blaster. Our nickname? I was gonna say my nickname in high school. Those jokes. Were those jokes ever funny? I don't know. I do not know. That's some dedication, lol. Anything to get through 8 more chapters in an hour and a half. Oh no. 2 kilometers due west of the Intercontinental Railway Transfer Station. Black-colored IFVs. I'm surprised I said that correctly. Drive out of the mist. The autocannons and their turrets sweeping left and right, searching for enemies. I don't know if you guys ever seen me have energy in 2 years of streaming. There's a large pit in front of these IFVs. I don't think I've ever had energy ever. One of them comes to a halt about 50 meters away from the pit. After ensuring the situation is safe, its rear hatch slams to the ground. Black armored troopers cautiously dismount, turning on the powerful flashlights mounted on their weapons and illuminating the vast, seemingly bottomless pit before them. The sky starts to drizzle, and the soldiers' bracelets start to turn yellow. However, the troopers ignore the rising particle density. After the squad disperses and takes formation, a red-haired woman emerges from the vehicle. She walks past the troopers and up to the pit. The troopers act like they don't see her, their guns raised as they continue watching their surroundings for danger. She raises a cigarette to her mouth and lights it before looking disdainfully into the pit and taking a puff. The rain unfortunately puts the cigarette out. The woman scowls, then tosses the cigarette to the ground before forcefully stomping it out. Bad sign, my ass. It's just the same shit, different day. Behind her, several more IFVs drive up to the pit. Black armored troopers quickly dismount and spread out to scan their surroundings. Soon they fill up the space in front of the pit. The badges on the black armored troopers proclaim them to be from Manji? I don't know. But their equipment and attitudes are markedly different from the average PMC grunt. The woman changes the channel on her radio and begins giving orders. Everyone listen up. This is a hazard level 3 assignment. Charlie, Delta, and Foxtrot teams head underground and carry out plan C27. Bravo Echo teams watch the perimeter. Alpha teams stand by. Now, as for our ROE. She takes out another cigarette and lights it. I imagine she's got 2 in her mouth like Smoker from One Piece. After taking a puff, she pauses for a moment. Then the woman slowly exhales a cloud of smoke before giving her orders. Kill everything that moves. The black armored troopers are silent. The woman gestures and 3 teams of men immediately pivot and head into the pit while the other 2 begin establishing a defense line around them. The woman continues smoking her cigarette. The soldier behind her waits until she's done before walking up and asking her a question. Adjutant Lentine, why are we deploying 6 combat teams on a single level 3 assignment? Because the brass paid to deploy 6 combat teams. Even so, don't you think 6 teams is a little much? Does the Black Op this time round really bother the brass that much? Just look. Lentine points at the terminal in her hand, which shows the view from a trooper's helmet camera system. She grimaces in disgust as she looks at the insignia on the wall, and she covers it up by lighting another cigarette. Now she's got 3 in her mouth like Smoker, if Smoker was also Zorro. Courageous again. The squad leader shakes his head. They've been way too active recently. It's been making us look bad, too. You mean our nickname? Thanks to all this goddamn Black Ops, even the rest of Manji's security forces would rather die than let us help them. I mean, have you even heard the nickname they gave us? Omen. You don't like it? We're the best of the best at Manji security. We should be something like the Shining Edge, not Omen or whatever. Shining Edge. The woman suddenly laughs out loud, then cuts off her laughter by sticking a cigarette into her mouth. After taking a puff and getting her breathing under control again, she begins to speak. Frankly speaking, I actually like the name. Nobody who hears it is going to have any illusions about what we're going to do next. She points at the squad leader's head. Say, Kenny, when you became a security contractor, did you actually think you'd be keeping anything safe? Of course not. Did you know? I really, really hate it when people go expecting something of me and then end up depressed when their expectations fall short. Amen, sister. I keep hearing crap during missions like, aren't you here to save us? Or how can you do this? And whenever I do, it makes me think that I'm just a parrot in a cage. A parrot? I like that this guy's name is Kenny. I imagine underneath the mask it's Kenny, the guy who voices SpongeBob. Because everyone thinks you should be saying what they expect you to say. Nothing else registers as proper words to them. It's just noise, like a rooster going, "Awk, awk. Awk, awk, tua." That's two awks. That's awk. You get it, or something. Kenny is momentarily at a loss for how to respond. Just then a voice comes in over the radio, and the two of them in their chit-chat to check their terminals. Adjutant Lentine, we're closing on the target area, preparing to enter. Switch off all the security cameras, but leave one patch directly into our comms channel. Do not record any imagery from this mission. Roger. Have Delta block off the entrance. Foxtrot will cover you. Use up all of your explosives. Roger. Time for work. Lentine tosses the cigarette butt aside and heads for her IVF with Kenny trailing after her. Once they get inside, the monitors inside this vehicle show the positions of the combat team members who have entered the tunnels in the view from their body cameras. On the screen, the black armored troopers are moving from the elevator platform to a huge smashed gate. They enter the room beyond, covering each other in a leapfrog fashion. Now I just imagine fully armored troops playing leapfrog. Like squatting and jumping over each other's shoulders. I guess they would also be jumping over each other's soldiers too, but I meant their shoulders. Fuck! The room inside contains several dozen huge culture tanks with a human body parts enmeshed with plant tendrils floating in the culture solutions. Oh, we're back to the cult shit. The power source in their middle glows dimly. I guess you did say it was related to or it was at the same time as the Dion event. And dandelions involved, I should have expected the weird biomechanical cult shit. We found multiple samples. The power has been shut off. There might be a contact risk. Stay away from those tanks. Inform all teams that the assignment's hazard level has been upgraded to 2. Understood. I'll let them know right away. Looks like their ritual site is down there. It's not often that there's one so close to a green zone. These lunatics are getting wilder and wilder. Don't let your ethics cloud your judgment. We take money to solve problems. We're just gophers for a small independent MPMC. It took me like all of my impulse control not to say Van Wilder when I read Wilder. Take Bravo off sentry duty. Have them go down there to support the others. Got it. I'll contact them. Kenny keys his radio and gives orders to the combat team on the perimeter. Lentine's eyes are focused on the screen. The images from the camera continue moving as the troopers take plastic explosives out of their backpacks, which they plant in various corners of the room. Breath. I gotta take a breath. No life forms detected nearby, and charges have been set awaiting further instructions. Proceed for Gwarg, who I did see at Warp Tour one year. And that was an experience. There's a shot from behind in the broad daylight in a parking lot. Quite an experience. There's a shot from behind and the image shakes violently. The viewpoint quickly turns to the rear where a trooper in the back has been impaled through the forearm by a thorny plant stem from one of the culture tanks. The trooper tries to escape, but the stem burrows deeper into his flesh. Gross. Purple liquid oozes out of the stabbed area and the trooper's arm immediately swells up. The man beside him draws a knife from his waist and promptly chops off the wounded man's forearm. The stabbed soldier wails in agony, staggering back from the pain and shock. His teammate pulls out a medkit and administers a styptic and painkillers. The camera view shifts to the plant that is still burrowing deeper into the severed arm. Nasty. A white-colored mist sprays in from off-camera. Abnormal contact has occurred. One man has been injured, suppressing with liquid nitrogen. I mean, that'll do it. The vegetation soon freezes over. Unable to bear the weight of the forearm, it falls to the ground and splinters into many pieces. How many times do I have to tell you not to approach those tanks? Lentine sighs and rubs her temples. Send him up. Will do. Lentine leans back into her chair and addresses Kenny in a mocking tone. Well, well, lucky him. For the low, low price of half an arm, he gets to collect a big, fat compensation paycheck. That guy who was wounded was probably Masio. He's been with us for close to 10 years. Close to 10 years. It's been that long already. You know, when I get sick of being adjutant, you should take over. I'll go join a combat squad and get some random little injury. When the time comes, make sure you give me a nice little bonus. Enough to retire with. Yeah, right, adjutant. Who else would be kind enough to share their compensation with someone else? You mean you wouldn't share yours with me? Hell no. Wow, petty much? Lentine pouts to express her displeasure, but they've been through this routine so many times before that Kenny doesn't bother following up on the old gag with her. How many more rooms are there which need blowing? Intel indicates there's 2 more. We're just gonna move past that. Looks like there's a whole mess of black op for us today. Suddenly, Lentine pulls off her earpiece. Kenny's about to speak, but she signals for him to stop. Hold on, I'll cover it up. Did you hear something? I think it sounded like a helicopter. A helicopter? Helicopter? The squad leader removes his earpiece, listens carefully, and then shakes his head. Not a thing. What happened? Our intel didn't mention anything about aircraft passing nearby, right? I mean, it's perfectly normal for people to use aircraft without filing for permission in an ungoverned region like this. Lentine frowns and puts her earpiece back on, but she continues speaking in an unhappy tone. I have a bad feeling about this. Adjutant Lentine, we just got a transmission from Bravo. They found an elevator that wasn't mentioned in the intel, and there's a large thermal signature coming from a chamber below the elevator. I'll patch in a video feed from over there. The two of them turn back to the screen. It flashes, and then its perspective changes. This time, the viewer is looking into the pit with a thermal imager. Give me the size and composition of the thermal signature. One moment, please. Scan complete. I'm picking up at least 40 life forms in a massive thermal source massing at least 5 units or more. You know, what is it? I guess it's inferred what the units are, because units is like not a measurement. They're units of something, but I guess it's inferred to be like the radiation or whatever. Thermal units. I don't know what the fuck they got going on in post-apocalyptic Russia or wherever we're at. 5 units, so it's a boojum then. So they summoned us even before the ritual was complete. That doesn't happen often. The sound of gunshots come over the transmission, seemingly from a long distance away. I hear gunshots. All teams, stay alert. Who are you engaging? Hang on. There's nobody. None of the teams have engaged anyone. Then something must have happened underground. Delta finished planting the explosives. The rest of you head deeper into the pit. This assignment's hazard level is now 1. All personnel prepare to engage a boojum. Understood. While that answer was simple enough, there was an added hint of nervousness in the man's voice, which I nailed. They're calling this a hazard level 3 mission even though there's a boojum present? We were wondering why they shelled out so much, right? Looks like we got your answer. Still, even if the FABN group is in charge of things, a boojum so close to the green zone is going too far. Forget it. This isn't any of our business. Have Alpha prepare themselves. We'll be... Suddenly, they hear bullets strike the exterior armor plate of the vehicles, followed by an emergency transmission over the radio. This is Echo. You've engaged unknown dolls. They're attempting to enter the underground chamber. Dolls? How many? Unable to estimate. They have a sniper. 2 of our guys have been hit. We're pinned down. God damn it. Can you get the IFV over and give him fire support? Why now of all times? Rhino 2, Rhino 3, what the hell are you doing? Why aren't you returning fire? What? Your optics were destroyed. You shower of useless assholes. Very creative. You shower? Whatever. Okay, that stun-locked me. Must I do everything myself? Kenny climbs into the gunner's seat and prepares to manually control the autocannon for the attack. Kenny said, I'm gonna do this shit myself. However, there's the sound of a crisp impact from outside the vehicle, and the gunner's monitor in front of him promptly bursts into a sea of static. What? Don't waste your time. We aren't going up against any ordinary dolls. Alpha, mount up. We're moving in to assist. What's going on? Why are we getting attacked? Are we doing the attacking? I'm approaching the coordinates Miss Dandelion sent us. I see some IFVs here. They might end up being a big threat to us. Makasete? Bang! I've destroyed their optics. They shouldn't be able to do anything for the time being. I don't know if you saw the shadow, but Macchiato's hair waving in the wind, the shadow looked like a crab claw. Got it. Ready to break in? Lobster claw. Ooh, crabby. Looks like a crabby. Yeah, give me 30 seconds and I'll be at your possession ASAP. Shark Free, stay inside and keep the engines running. Prepare to head out at any time. Yeah? So when we get a chance to shine. Not unless you want some 25mm ventilation in your frame. Ugh, okay then. Don't take your time. I won't. I'll set it to auto and then everything will be fine. I don't have time to deal with you with my own brain. Unless there's a boss battle, in which I will deal with my own brain. But you are 50 levels below me. And by the way, I reached level 60. Like on my account, and then I also upgraded these 4 and maybe Mosin to level 60 so far. So we kind of got it going on. Please blow up. Please get shot. Somebody. Thank you. Good job. We can't hold them, Adjutant. Those dolls made it underground. That fighting style. And such capable T-dolls. This is Bravo. We made contact with unknown T-dolls. They got a lot of firepower. We're going to back up. That's what Bravo sounds like. So there are T-dolls underground as well. Looks like things are becoming more and more interesting. Interesting. Leave 3 people behind to tend to the wounded. Everyone else follow me. We're going after those dolls. Got it. Welcome to Max Level Club. Thank you, I'm happy to be here. Although I do realize I was using support macchiatos, and they have I don't know what it's called in this game. But like E6 or whatever. And it's just better because she shoots on her Overwatch. She shoots like 5 times instead of 2. But like, it's a lot of money to pull for a lot of macchiatos, you know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, on the other side of the pit, how many more enemies are there? There should be at least 50 according to the scans, right? Is there another way? As you can see right now, I'm just a diner. Look, I'm being serious here. In that case, we should be able to solve the problem handily once our reinforcements arrive, right? Reinforcements? And here are the reinforcements. I remember this. Where are we getting reinforcements from? Just then I hear a familiar yet unfamiliar voice in my earpiece. The moment I do, I know that we've been tossed a lifeline. Master, do you read me? Loud and clear. We received Miss Dandelions' distress signal and are now approaching our location. Macchiato's come too. Wait for us, Commander. Don't you dare down there. Looks like my number's not up just yet. Dandelion, give me Centaure's location. Already sent. The enemy's rate of fire is massive. The sooner we're out of here, the better, considering we don't know if more enemy reinforcements will show up. I quickly glanced through the signal icons on my terminal. Centaure's and the others are approaching fast. When they're positioned, I can count on them to help me pinch through the enemy. However, we'll need to take Elena back from the Boojum first. I look around. You know, is that the the right Helena? I don't remember where we're at this point. I look around. I guess I have my answer. I look around. Diana's hitting the enemy with everything she's got. Courtney and Elena, and the Helena she's protecting, are looking at me with frightened eyes. We don't have much room for error, but I'm certain that even after all this time, the dolls can still work well together. There's no more time to hesitate. I quickly decide on my next move and give my orders. Down. Commander? I need suppressive fire from you and Jiang Yu in that direction to draw their attention. Our reinforcements will flank them from behind and will break out through their location. Yes. Dandelion, help compute the ideal attack route for Diane and Centaure's and send it to them. Already done and sent. Centaure's, give me a sit rep once you get in position, then wait for my go. Yes, Master. ETA is 1 minute. Down, keep laying down fire. When I give the word, we'll make a break for a more open area and draw the enemy's attention. Jiang Yu, can you and your big sis put on a good show to distract them? Jiang Yu remains one of my favorite designs, just from this. No problem, just leave it to me. That's all I needed to hear. And then her and her friend in the Zucchero Cafe event that's going on right now, the little lobby, They sit like in each other's laps and they do not move and they do not respond when you click on them when everybody else waves and everybody else walks around. They just sit on the couch together like in each other's laps and it's crazy. No, 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 OBS, OBS, no, don't do this. OBS, OBS, please don't do this. No. Please don't do this. Please reconnect, 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 please reconnect. Okay, so in addition to all the the bullshit going on, my stream also just died. So we're just gonna do this. This is the recording from here on out. So yeah, no stream, just me pretending it's a let's play or a Northern Lion Bazaar video, and let's go. Her name is Zhao Hui. She's a new friend of ours. Got it. How about this? You look pretty agile. Can you help us bring Helena back to us? I'll have Dandelion disable Helena's defense systems. That's Dion and Jiang Yu's commander for you. Already giving orders without hesitation, even though this is the first time we've met. Hey, if you can't handle it, I'll do it instead. Of course I can. Should I head out now? I'm glad you're willing to help out. Wait for my signal. I look up at the Helena who's still floating in the air. She's watching us struggle with a look of amusement on her face. I pay her no further attention and look down at the Helena in front of me. You're Helena too, right? Yeah? Do you want to live? I can't die yet. I see the determination in her eyes, and then I turn to Kofne. Protect her. She's also Helena. Okay. Kofne reaches down to support the Helena beside her and looks up at the airborne Helena. So our Helena. Relax, she'll be fine. Saying so, I turn to look at the hovering Dandigate. You can do it, right, Dandelion? As you wish. Alright, hold on. I gotta make sure I don't have like a random 53-second video. Okay, here we go. After I give my orders, the dolls all look at me. I take a deep breath and wait for the transmission to come in. Master, we've reached our tank position, waiting for your command. Got it. Everyone go. Centaurasi and Macchiato silently drop down to the elevator platform at the bottom of the shaft where their black armored enemies are focused on firing in the other direction. They suddenly open fire, cutting the black armored troopers down before they even know what's going on. The dolls soon take the position that the enemy once occupied and provide us with cover fire. The Dandigate flies up to Helena, who seems unhappy. Hold on, let me write this comment. The spherical defense system begins to glow, but Dandelion seizes control of them before they can finish charging up. And nap time for bad kids. You. Before she can finish, the three spheres glow and then revert to their box form, which encloses Helena. Zhaohui, go now. Got it. Zhaohui throws out a grappling line and immediately springs toward high ground while Diana and Jiang Yu rush towards Centaurasi. Run. Everyone breaks into a mad dash. With Centaurasi and Macchiato pinning them down, the enemy's volume of fire is significantly reduced. I'm running at the group's head while Kofne and Helena follow close behind me. Diana and Jiang Yu bring up our rear. As we approach Sensor AC, I notice the flickering of flashlights in a tunnel off to our side. Master, incoming reinforcements. It's in my blind spot. I can't hit him. Cover the commander. Dan and Jiang Yu immediately rush to the head of the group and turn to face the enemy reinforcements. Jiang Yu presses on my shoulder to get my head down while she and Diane block the bullets from the side. The two dolls mount a fighting retreat away from the enemy. Dazzling flashes of light erupt as bullets splinter and fragment against their frames, but they grit their teeth and continue returning fire. Looking up, I see that Zhao Hui has taken the Helena box out of the air, and as she is using her grappling line to rake the enemy with fire one-handed, as she swings through the air, briefly throwing them back. She's cool as fuck, is what the game is trying to tell us. Go now. As the enemy fire falters, we begin another sprint towards Sensor Ace's location. Zhao Hui makes a hard landing beside us, and the Danegate follows closer behind her. Sensor AC, use this. Macchiato picks up a smoke grenade from one of the black-armed corpses and tosses it to Sensor AC. The two of them prime their smoke grenades and throw them out. The two smoke grenades hit the ground and clouds of white smoke obscure us. Everyone gets behind cover. Perhaps it's because they can't see us anymore, but the enemy gunfire suddenly stops. Sensor AC, Lot 2000, thank you for your support. I'm Macchiato now. It was an honor. Miss 95 and 97, are you alright? We're fine. Our frames are still functional, but we should leave ASAP. I look at the dolls. Diane's shoulder and head are damaged while Jiang Yu has two big holes in her thighs. Sensor AC and Macchiato help them onto the platform elevator. Coffney holds a panting Helena as they make their way forward, while Zhao Hui struggles with dragging the heavy box on her back. I run to the elevator too. It groans and rumbles before slowly grinding into movement. The dolls keep their weapons pointed the way we came, but no enemies follow us. The thunderous gunfire that surrounded us just now has suddenly vanished. The surroundings are quiet except for the noise of the elevator. For some reason, I don't feel the joy of narrowly escaping death. On the contrary, a sense of foreboding fills my mind. Sharkery, are there any enemies at the position we entered from? Not right now. Are you sure this is important? Sharkery's been watching through his telescope all this time. Alright then. Start the ignition. We'll be there in 5 minutes. You got a vehicle outside? Yeah, it was supposed to be a surprise present. A present. But, Macchiato, bad news. I'm seeing tons of IFVs headed toward your location. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them? Isn't that all the IFVs we saw just now? What should Sharker do? Prepare to engage. Commander, there are IFVs trying to intercept us. I should have known they wouldn't let us go so easily. Master, I have a plan. Oh my god. It's actually crazy. So much has just conspired against me right here. The universe hates me for this particular moment. It's okay, I think we have 2 more hours. Maybe. Adjutant Lentine, look out. The redhead woman is caught off guard by the green-clad doll suddenly jumping across her path and forgets to duck. Kenny tackles Lentine to the ground, and the bullets that would have hit her square in the chest instead slam into the man's backplates. The other troopers immediately stop shooting and drag the two of them into safety. Big ups Kenny. Chad Kenny. The woman gets to her feet and immediately checks on the squad leader's wounds. Kenny, are you alright? Hell if I know. She quickly inspects the place where he was struck and finds a bullet stuck between 2 of his ballistic plates. Get up already, it's not gonna get you pregnant. What? He just got shot, what does that even mean? The woman kicks the squad leader. After realizing he wasn't injured after all, Kenny scrambles to his feet. And Lentine pays him no further heed, instead she peers out from behind cover. The smoke cloud is fully spread out, she can't see anything. Adjutant, we've lost sight of the target, should we pursue? Give me a casualty report. We got 12 KIA and 25 WIA. Losses are serious. God damn mother... After them. I want them all to burn in hell. Calm down, Adjutant. We're at a huge disadvantage fighting dolls at this range. Lentine trembles with rage. She pulls out a cigarette and takes a deep drag from it to calm herself down. I love that she just has an... She really is a smoker from One Piece. She just has an infinite supply. Takes one hit and chucks it and then grabs a second one. That's so funny. After a brief period of contemplation, her reason wins out over her emotions. Bravo. Evacuate the wounded. Everyone else from the other teams who can still move, form up into a squad and follow me. We're headed up to the surface to wipe them out. Once we get out of the underground levels, blow all the charges. Yes, ma'am. Can you have everyone from Echo who's still alive drive the IVFVs over to block off the exit those dolls are using? Stop them no matter what, even if it means having to physically hit them with your cannon barrels. I'll contact them right away. The attack and losses sustained have far exceeded anything she has expected. Meanwhile, it's very hard for her not to imagine what has happened here after looking at the corpse of the Boojum in the deep pit and that of the woman in black outside of it. What the hell am I even fighting for? Lentine mutters to herself, a mix of emotions in her heart. Then she casts aside her cigarette butt and vanishes into the darkness of the tunnels with the rest of her men. Retreat, retreat. This is Rhino. Echo headed for the tunnel entrance. Armored IVFs. I didn't mean to skip both of those. Holy cow. 1 copies. We're following behind you. Ready to cover you anytime. The 2 IFVs stop at the entrance of the tunnel. It's wide enough that they can drive it into it side by side. The remaining 3 IFVs are parked outside the entrance, flanking it with their autocannons pointing into the opening. All their targeting optics are riddled with bullet holes, forcing the crew to pop their hatches and physically view their surroundings. The vehicle's headlights turn on when the vehicle commander signals in advance and the 2 lead IVFs drive into the tunnel. Rhino 4, let the infantry scout the surroundings. Don't let yourselves get flanked and ambushed. 4 copies, they're on high alert. The black armored men emerge from the vehicle, guns held at the ready as they eye the area around them. This is Lentine. The enemy is taking the elevator up. Head to the top elevator landing and intercept them. Smash them to bits. 4 copies, Adjutant. You heard her. Pick up the pace. Copy. Accelerating now. The IFV picks up speed, crushing crates and corpses underfoot. The black armored troopers notice that crushed corpses have mangy security written on their gear, but their rapid movement soon carries them out of sight. Stopping at the end of the tunnel, the IFV's headlights cast a clear glow ahead while the elevator platform noisily makes its way up the shaft. The spinning yellow lights and alarm klaxons are a constant reminder to the IFV's crew and complement that the elevator is about to revive. The elevator platform is stacked. Now I have the hiccups, as if more couldn't go wrong. The elevator platform is stacked high with various crates. The IFVs turn their turrets to cover it as it comes into everyone's view. Open fire, open fire. Roger, commencing attack. But they can't see the enemy's positions. The IFV gunners pull the trigger on their hands without hesitation. The IFV autocannons and coaxial machine guns open up in unison. The tremendous power of their large caliber rounds shredding the boxes and crates on the platform to pieces. The autocannon rounds even pierce the platform itself and turn its center into Swiss cheese. The plumes of smoke from the gunfire cover the entire platform, and it's only after 10 odd seconds of this withering barrage that the IFVs finally cease their attack. Cease fire, cease fire. Do you have visual contact? Music cut out. Unable to determine, but there's no way anyone can survive that. Gwar again. A sharp blade slashes through the neck of the speaking trooper. He stares incredulously at the maid-attired doll who has appeared behind him. Blood spurts from his severed carotid and jugular. Oh my god. She fucking murdered this guy. He tries with all of his might to stop the bleeding but fails, and he collapses limply through the turret hatch and into the vehicle's interior. Ambush, ambush, drop off your troops. Another doll descends from the ceiling, landing heavily on the turret. The crewman nearest to her tries to pull out a pistol and shoot, but she kicks his head so hard it spins a full 359 degrees around his neck. Very graphic. That's insanely graphic. These girls just went full assassin mode. What the hell's going on? Report. We've been ambushed. Disembark and form up now. Oh my god. That's insane. It's insanely graphic. I'm not gonna skip it, because they're gonna talk. Oh my god, he's got a shotgun. Don't shoot. We'll capture one of the IFVs and wipe out the rest of the enemies. Roger that. Commencing operation. Alright. Get me through this. Get me through this. I'm gonna drink some water while they're doing this, because I'm talking so much and so fast. I really can't believe the insane sequence of events that has happened, has occurred here today. Let me make some posts to indicate that this is going to be a video. That's so crazy. That's actually so crazy. Let me go YouTube posts. Oh my god, it's over already. Oh my god. So the universe is conspiring against me today. I will upload video and add to playlist. I will finish the event and upload video and add to playlist this weekend. Okay, thanks. Bye. Select all of that. Select all of that. Post. Okay. Thanks, Centuracy. Those autocannons would have shot us to bits if it wasn't for your warning. Climbing up a tiny platform was a piece of cake. Those people were totally underestimating us. Just before the IFVs arrived, the dolls had already carried me and jumped into the elevator landing, where we hid a side tunnel. We hid in a side tunnel. Meanwhile, Jang Yu and Centuracy lay in ambush on the ceiling, waiting for the enemy to deliver themselves into our net. There was no way those enemies would have given up so easily. Macchiato engaged their IFVs when we arrived here, so my guess was that they would have used them to head us off. You can thank yours truly for destroying their optical systems, otherwise they would have never exposed themselves like they did. Good point, we would have had a much harder time if they had buttoned up their vehicles. Those metal boxes are a real pain. Seeing how proud Macchiato looks, I nod in her direction to show my approval. Still, staying here is too dangerous. I gestured for the dolls to gather up so we can begin planning our next move. Thank you, everyone. You were a godsend. Come on, let's mount up. I'll handle the driving. Miss Dandelion, would you mind helping me download some driving software? On it. Centuracy climbs into the driver's seat with the other dolls, chuck the corpses out of the vehicle before filling up the passenger compartment. Squish, 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 roll. One of them still alive. Ah, and then he's dead. Centuracy finishes downloading the IFV driving software just as everyone finishes taking their places. Just as she begins to reverse, however, a massive explosion comes from deep within the underground complex. Damn it, they must be trying to blow up the place. Hurry, we need to get out of here. Yes, Master. Centuracy floors the accelerator on the IFV and it lurches forward. The tunnel behind the IFV begins to disintegrate in its wake and chunks of debris fall from the ceiling like stone rain. T-minus 2 hours. Rhino 4, come in, Rhino 4. Echo team, do you copy? I think they're all dead. Son of a bitch. All remaining Rhino units, listen up. Seal off this tunnel exit. The tunnel is collapsing faster and faster, but Centuracy is already driving as fast as the IFV can go. From a perch inside the turret, Macchiato spots more IFVs waiting to ambush us, but there's no way we can slow down now. Shark, get over to the tunnel exit right now. We need backup. Go with plan 1. Weapons free, weapons free. Is it time for Sharker's exciting performance at last? Yay. We slam into a wall of lead from the IVs. I'm starting to burn out from the energy drink. We slam into the wall of lead from the IFVs outside the tunnel, forcing Macchiato to duck back inside the turret. In front, bullets, cannon shells, and all manner of ordnance throw up in an endless rain of sparks as they ricochet off the IFV's armor. Behind us, the collapsing tunnel surges forward to consume us all. Suddenly, a tremor of whirling blades shakes the air from behind the IFVs that are outside the tunnel. A helicopter armed with rocket pods has just arrived in attack position. It's a chopper. There's an attack chopper out there. A what? Hang on, we're almost there. The black-clad soldiers are running through the wilderness at top speed. The exit behind them belches flame from the demolition charges as they sprint toward the other one. Quick, shoot it, shoot it. The IFV's turrets begin swiveling. This is fucking awesome, but it's too late for them. What is this? Look at this amazing art. The helicopter hovers in midair, and then a volley from its rocket pods turn the IFVs into burning wreckage. Oh my god. The The IFV from inside the tunnel I'm just getting sick of saying IFV. From inside the tunnel roars out into the open air and bashes the flaming wrecks aside, trailed by explosions which completely destroy the tunnel in its wake. Breathe. As the flames chase it, the IFV carries down toward a small hill in the distance while spewing black smoke. The helicopter gracefully banks to the side and flies past us, landing on the hill where we're headed. Once we get there, Center AC puts on the brakes and I emerge from the IFV. While I can barely open my eyes because of the downwashing grit, what I do manage to see still shocks me to the core. Nothing could be more familiar to me than the black helicopter before me, except perhaps for the worn but still legible insignia on the side, the shield of G and K. Get to the chopper. I know we're on a time limit here. I can't believe you've done this. There's no time to admire it though. The dolls pop the IFV's hatches and begin climbing toward it. I help the dolls push Helena in the box into the cabin. In the distance, the black armored troopers have also gotten to the high ground of their own. The woman who leads them anxiously gazes at the helicopter in the distance. God damn it, we won't be able to catch up with them. Kenny, do we have any rocket launchers? We do! Bring that chopper down. Give me a pair of binos. The woman takes the binoculars that one of her men hands her and looks through them at the helicopter. Range is 260 meters, fire when ready. Through the binoculars, she sees the dolls pulling a human into the cabin. The human takes a seat on the lip of the passenger compartment. Lantine ups the magnification on her binoculars, but when she sees the woman's face, she suddenly freezes. Isn't she from Frankfurt? She immediately changes her mind and gives another order. Cease fire. Huh? However, the squad leader has already pulled the trigger. Oh no. A rocket streaks out toward the helicopter. The helicopter immediately pulls up, trying to bank out of the path of the rocket. However, the intersection of its course and that of the missile has sealed the fate of the group on the helicopter. Firing. 2 shots ring out, piercing the rocket and throwing it off course where it explodes in midair. What the hell? The shock wave from the rocket's explosion shakes the helicopter, but the pilot soon levels it out. It continues picking up speed, trying to get out of the godforsaken hellhole. We still have hostiles nearby. Find them. The helicopter's still in range. Should it keep going? As Kenny barks orders to his men, he raises another rocket launcher, awaiting Lantine's response. All units take cover and wait for further instructions. Upon hearing the order, the black armored troopers obediently remain still and make no further movements. In the distance, the helicopter picks up speed and fades from sight. Meanwhile, the hidden shooters do not reveal themselves. So they were just covering the escape then. 2 gunshots, 2 people. She shoves the binoculars back into Kenny's hand, then takes out a cigarette and lights it. She's got a problem. The surviving men in black remain silent as they're waiting for Lantine's next order. A moment later, she throws the cigarette aside without so much as taking a drag on it and turns to address Kenny. I was memeing earlier. She just actually does that. It's so funny. Contact HQ and tell them the mission is complete. Then inform personnel and have them pay out the maximum compensation to our fallen men. Kenny nods. When writing your combat report, attribute all our personnel and material losses to the battle with the Boojum. Do not mention anything about the battle with those dolls. What? Then find the most reliable underground broker you can. I need information. Lots of information. With that, Lantine heads into the distance, ignoring Kenny's questions. The sounds of the world begin to fade away as she loses herself in thought. There's only one thought left in her mind. Why? 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 Driven by that thought, she sets out on a mission of her own. Damn, I want to know what the hell happened in Frankfurt. They got her, sparing them and hating them in the same breath. Oh my god. There's so much more. The helicopter rises through the clouds and reaches its cruising height. I get back inside the cabin and close the door, whereupon the active noise-canceling system installed in all Griffin helicopters engages and excludes all outside noise. The silent surroundings make me realize that I've left the combat zone, and it's only then that I realize that my hands are trembling, a feeling that is slowly rising up my arms. I clench my fists, doing my best to stabilize my heart rate, and then I begin considering the current situation. Based on what I saw just now, the involvement of Paradius, those PMC troops, and that other Helena are all very unnatural. What on earth is Dandelion trying to pull? Where is she trying to steer all this? I look at the flying Dandegate. I forgot she was inside of this, and think about how to get a straight answer out of her. That missile headed at us clearly did not explode for no reason. From its trajectory and the position where it exploded, someone must have shot it down. In other words, someone secretly saved us, but who could have done that? I ponder the question, but can't come up with anything. Since I have no evidence or proof to support it, all I can do is set it aside for now. So where should we go next? I'll ask these two later. I'm sure they have plans of their own. Should I continue with the transport mission? I look at the box and the other Helena, who looks just like the one I know, but acts completely different. Once we get to a safe place, I'm gonna have a good long chat with her about what happened before we got to her. After this brief period of contemplation, I look around inside the cabin. This is a standard issue Griffin transport helicopter. Helicopter. Judging by its stability in flight and the normal operation of its noise cancellation, this chopper most likely been maintained at active duty spec from 10 years ago. While the fittings are a little old, they're all pretty much standard issue from back then. Even the first aid kit is in the same place. Macchiato heads over to the co-pilot seat and talks to a doll I've never seen before about our flight path. Centracy takes the first aid kit from under the seats and begins treating the wounds of the dolls who were damaged in the battle just now. The dolls begin exchanging their names and rejoice over surviving that battle just now. I look at Kolfne. She's trying to strike up a conversation with the other Helena, but the latter does not respond in any way, only looking down at the box. She looks uneasy, but I can tell that she's trying to rein in her emotions. She's been secretly observing everyone since we got in the helicopter and thinking about something. The box has been secured to the cabin floor. Xiaohe looks worriedly at it, then looks up at the hovering Dandegate. Say, this box isn't gonna suddenly change back to its sphere form, right? I've already assumed direct control over the box's authorizations. That said, its occupant might be able to take back control. Who knows? Upon hearing this, the girl suddenly looks up and addresses the Dandegate in an earnest voice. She's already gone. What? I can no longer sense the lurking unclean. So she's gone, The Dandegate flies in front of the girl's face, its mono eye focusing on her, but the face reflected in its glassy depths does not change. Looks like there's no more danger then. Lucky us. But she has left her burden behind. The box cannot be opened for now. Why? Are you afraid she'll replace you? You should not do that if you do not want her to die. After saying that, the girl lowers her head once again and remains silent, no longer listening to Dandelion's teasing. With a sigh, I look away from the conversations of the dolls. Centracy has just finished binding Diane's wounds, so I approach them and ask about their condition. Diane, Jiang Yu, are you alright? You don't have to worry, Commander. They were merely flesh wounds, not another one. Oh my god, what is it? So referential today. Yep. Band-aid or two and we'll be just fine. Diane's injuries aren't particularly bad, but Jiang Yu has suffered a penetration injury through and through to her leg, so Centracy kneels before her and begins administering first aid. She carefully extracts the bullet and its fragments, then fills the wound channel with packing epoxy and applies a synth skin patch over the entry and exit wounds. Jiang Yu limbers up her leg, then nods happily to Centracy in gratitude. Seeing as Centracy has finished first aid for them, I decide to ask her the question that's been on my mind. So, what's the deal with this helicopter? Kinda slow on the uptake, aren't you, Commander? Can't you tell that this is a present that your subordinate is prepared for you? The Dandegate shifts its position to directly over my head. I try to look up, but I can't see her. Is that true? She puts the tools back into the first aid kit, then looks up at me with a smile. Indeed. We heard that you were working in the yellow zones all this time, so the manager and everyone in Zucchero decided to chip in and get this for you. I've decided it's Zucchero. We were planning to present it to you when you came to the satellite city. However, the situation was urgent and we needed to get here ASAP, so we had to give it to you in this way. Do you like it, Master? The sudden surge of emotions leaves me unsure of what to say next. As nostalgia assaults my brain and I look around, I feel like I've gone back 10 years in time. But after seeing the box on the ground and Elena beside me, I realize that I'm no longer in the past. Thank you, everyone. Don't forget to thank Springfield. It took her a lot of effort to acquire this transport helicopter. After Macchiato finishes talking with the pilot, she heads in from the pilot's cabin and takes a seat opposite me. Did she? And your name now is Macchiato. It's my name now. Make sure you remember it. I will, Macchiato. Is Springfield with you too? Yes, the manager's waiting for us in CHE02. One of the satellite cities on the escort route. I look up at the dandy gate. It pretends that it didn't notice me looking. We should be safe now. Would you like to contact the manager? Yes, we should. Please put me through. She adjusts the transmission frequency and patches the signal into my earpiece. Soon I hear a familiar voice through it. Oh my, Commander. It's been a while since we last spoke. Yes, it has. Sorry for making you go to all this trouble. No need to stand on ceremony, Commander. Are things going well on your end? I guess not. You're as funny as ever, Commander. Judging by the fact that you're speaking to me over this channel, I take it you've already received your present. Yes, although I have no idea how you managed to hold on to it for so long. It's definitely a big gift, though, and it's definitely appreciated. It's good to hear. I'll make preparations to receive you at the cafe. Cafe? I see. Speaking of which, I've brought a rather complicated bunch of guests with me. Will be convenient for you. Miss Dandelion has already told me the details of the situation. As for those Helenas, they'll need special care. We may need to make some preparations before coming to the cafe. Preparations, you say? I understand. Oh yes, regarding the Elmo, I've explained the situation to Miss Mei-Ling and asked her not to worry. You don't need to worry about the rest. I've already told the staff members what to do. Just get some rest along the way. We'll deal with any problems that come up when you arrive at Zucchero. Well, that's Springfield for you. She's already taken into account all the things that were worrying me. I nod and end the call after thanking her. As I take the view from outside the window, a wave of fatigue suddenly washes over me. Apparently the sense of security I felt from knowing that I was surrounded by my dolls led me to relax unconsciously. And then I black out. I lean against my seat and close my eyes, allowing my consciousness to drift into the depths of my mind. Commander! Commander! An indistinct voice speaks into my ear. It sounds like Elena. I force my heavy-lidded eyes to open and focus my sight on the white-haired girl before me. It seems to be a film of condensation over my FOV. Helena? Commander, we've arrived. I move my slightly stiff joints. I hadn't expected to be sleeping so soundly. Then I look around. Helena's the only one here. Everyone else is gone. We're in our mind palace or something, I don't know. Where is everybody? Commander? She bursts into tears. There, don't cry. What happened? I fumble a little as I try to wipe her tears, but she ends up grabbing my wrist instead. I never imagined a child could be so strong. I can't break free of her grip. Commander, save me. The Helena's deceived lies. Don't worry, if nothing else, you'll be safe by my side. But if you need my help, then you need to tell me everything, okay? Helena is still sobbing, but she nods. Suddenly her pupils dilate and the strength fades from her hand. I use this opportunity to regain control over my wrists. Right after that, white mist floods in from outside the helicopter. Helena begins muttering to herself as though she's been summoned by something. Helena won't. I'm not traitor. Before she can finish, she turns and rushes into the mist. I reflexively follow her. As the mist clears, I grind to a halt as I see a seemingly endless expanse of epiphyllums before me. Countless Helenas are walking forward through the flowers. The epiphyllums bloom and petals fall like rain. This beautiful scene is indescribably eerie. Helena! My voice shatters the silence of the Helenas as one they instantly turn to look at me with vacant eyes. Only one of them has the same sad look on her face. You should not have come here. Then leave with me. We'll go together. Helena shakes her head. My destiny's here. Destiny? To hell with destiny. A thought flashes through my mind. For some reason, I feel like if I let go of Helena, I'll lose her forever. You are kind, Commander. What on earth are you saying? I pick up the pace until I reach Helena. I need to get her out of this creepy place. I'll physically drag her away if I have to. However, no matter how much strength I use, Helena refuses to budge. The kind die, but you must live. Helena picks an epiphyllum beside her. The soft, lovely flower instantly transforms into a sharp blade that gleams coldly, and she stabs into my heart without hesitation. What the fuck, Helena? I can't dodge the blow, but my chest doesn't hurt. It just feels cold. Helena weeps, and my consciousness grows hazy. I bolt upright like I've been electrocuted. After gasping heavily for several seconds, I realized the Dandegate is perched on my chest. That must have been where the coldness came from. Were you dreaming? Upon seeing that I'm getting up, the Dandegate hops off my chest and takes to the air. I turn to look at the girl in the corner, then at the box and quietly sigh. More like a nightmare. I think I was too tense. I'm okay now. Dandelion flies a circle over my head before descending before my face again. As long as you're fine, get ready, we're about to land. I look outside the window again. The helicopter is approaching the city. The doll who Macchiato called Sharkery is speaking into the communicator. It seems he's talking to the local air traffic controllers. Looking down, I notice that despite us heading straight for the city, the air defense placements on the wall are not tracking us as though we're old friends. It takes me by surprise. It implies that this helicopter has been legally registered and has permission to use the city's airspace. The cost of obtaining such permissions might actually be greater than the price of the helicopter itself. The helicopter slowly descends as we near the city until we end up touching down on a small helipad near the city walls. After stepping out of the helicopter, the massive quarantine walls fill my line of sight. As I look around, I notice that all the nearby security cameras are facing elsewhere as several men in police uniforms approach us. Macchiato moves up to meet them and stuffs several black cards into their hands. The men nod before heading toward the helicopter. They walk past us as though we were invisible and enter the helicopter. Soon the helicopter lifts off and flies elsewhere. Come with me, Commander. Miss Aeon, Miss Jiang Yu, and Miss Zhao He, Sharkery will take you to the Zucchero Cafe. It is a safe place. It is a safe place where you can rest for a while. Commander. Go rest. I'll come by afterwards. Aeon nods and the trio of dolls head into the passage with Sharkery. Meanwhile, Macchiato enters a passcode into a nearby door before beckoning me over. I enter with her, followed by Kofne, who's holding Helena's hand. Centraci's at the rear of the group, carrying the box on her back. After passing through a rundown maintenance passage and taking a cargo elevator into an underground area, we arrive at a small storage unit. There's a 6-seater light truck inside it. We mount up in silence and drive out of the storage unit. As we emerge from the underground area, the sunlight hits my face. It's sunset now, and the truck slowly climbs in a long spiral from the sublevels of the satellite city toward a higher elevation. As we go deeper into the city, more and more lights come on. It seems they're celebrating some sort of festival. Helena's eyes are drawn to the lights of the city. She seems to be trying to greedily devour them all in her gaze. All this must be fresh and new to her. I can practically sense the excitement and eagerness boiling in her heart. However, when she looks back inside the truck and sees the box on the floor by floorboards, her eyes go dull again. She angry, and now she's sad. She notices that I'm looking and turns to look me in the eye. On my part, I do not shy away from meeting her gaze. Then her mouth opens as though she wants to say something, but then she hesitates. Instead, she turns away, looking neither at the city nor the box, but at her feet as she seems to be waxing thoughtfully. Oh my god. An hour and 2 more changes of vehicles later, Macchiato drives into a skyscraper, whereupon we dismount and get into an elevator. As its doors open, we are greeted by a brightly, completely sealed room. Springfield is there. Clearly, she's been waiting for us for quite a while. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to not talk, and I'm going to delve over this later so I can do it faster, because I read faster than I speak, okay? See you later. You're not going to notice. You might notice recording quality is going to be different. And my voice won't be so fucked up. But anyways, cut, snap, cut. Okay.
さだ。立ってろ。逃げられると思うな。よい。ごめんね。楽勝よ。邪魔よ。それが終わりだ。なんてことない勝利だが、休む理由にはちょうどいいだろ。
が守る。こ
れは決意の重さだ。 ご命令完了。
良い今だ。
了解。
まだ負けてなどいない。
配置完了。射撃準備。
戦場は片付いた。皆の者、
新たな任務？いいわ、任せて。まだ足りない。
次の舞台は可愛い系で行くか、それとも大胆にセクシー路線で行くか。指揮官どう思う？
みんなのために。
今だ。
これは決意の重さだ。今立ってろ。配置完了。射撃準備。ご命令を。
それがしか守る。
未来は定まった。決まっていた未来だ。私が終わらせる。
了解
ご命令を。楽勝よ。楽勝よ。 昔みたいに私に感謝するといいわ。まだ足りない。重さだ。気が立ってろ。ごめん。これならどうだ。
よい、今だ今だ。
配置完了。射撃準備ご命令を。
それがしが守る。
未来は定まった。未来は定まった。ごめんね、私楽勝よ。なんてことない勝利だが、休む理由に 定まった。未来は定まった。決まっていた未来だ。ごめんね。ガタガタよ。
戦場は片付いた。皆の者、よくやったな。
の重さだ。気が立ってろ。
ご命令を。
楽勝よ、楽勝よ、楽勝よ。
配置完了。射撃準備。ご命令を。
今だ。
想定通りの勝利です。
器具を持ってせざれば。
時々他人に厳しく当たりすぎなのではと思っているのですが、